Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Cynical, and today for you guys, I'm going to be doing a reaction slash kind of discussion and thought video on some brand new Ratchet and Clank PlayStation 4 footage. Today, Insomniac Games posted up some brand new footage of the upcoming Ratchet and Clank sort of remake or reboot. Everyone was like flooding me with this today on Twitter because I think a lot of you guys know that I'm a huge Ratchet and Clank fan. The PlayStation 4 reboot is currently my second most anticipated game of 2016. You know, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 obviously being the #1 spot. But however, I'm so excited for this game. We're not too far away now. Next month is when the game comes out. I'm super hyped. But anyway, today we're going to be looking at Planet Iridia as well as Planet Nivalis. So Planet Iridia is like the third or fourth planet you go to in the very first original Ratchet and Clank game, and of course Planet Nivalis is like the first or second. I don't know if you really want to sort of count Velvin, yeah. So we're going to be looking at these and kind of talking about them, how they compare to the original from the very first Ratchet and Clank. I have to say this game is looking fucking fantastic, dude, honestly, from the footage that we've already received. Anyway, let's jump into it. There's going to be no actual sound from the video itself. I'm going to be just kind of talking about, you know, what I'm seeing on screen, reacting to it, and what not. So, let's jump into it. This is Planet Iridia Outpost X11. I'm very excited. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, man. It looks so beautiful. It looks so beautiful. You know, people have been talking about how amazing this game is looking for such a long time now, ever since Insomniac started to kind of release footage of the game. But honestly, this is one of the best looking PlayStation 4 games I've seen so far. The aesthetics to me, god, it looks amazing. The aesthetics to me look sort of reminiscent to that of how Kingdom Hearts 3 is looking. I suppose that's where the cartoony aspect comes in. But yo, dude, I'm glad they haven't like completely changed the original levels. Like, you can definitely see like some differences here, like those two statues right there. I think that's Skid McMark up there. That's good. Yeah, McMark's Sports Shack. Okay. Because in case you guys don't know, in the original game, this planet was where Skid McMark actually crashed his spaceship, and you would basically encounter him, and you would have to take out a few enemies, and he'd give you a hoverboard. But it looks like this place is actually home to Skid McMark, which is actually kind of interesting. Because in the very first game, this like thing right here was it's just basically an abandoned sort of factory. But the layout seems to be the same from what I'm seeing. Yeah, even with the slingshot and stuff, the swing shot. Have to get that right. But my god, dude, these graphics are so good. They are so good, and I'm so happy. It's like this is basically Kingdom Hearts. I mean, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is always on my mind. This is basically the first Ratchet and Clank game. Of course, there's going to be some differences with the story itself, as well as the planets. I've heard from an interview that basically there's going to be 3 new planets on top of all of the originals, which is great. But essentially, this is Ratchet and Clank 1 with a few changes. Well, actually, quite a lot of changes. But it's going to be fantastic because, as you guys should probably know, in the very first Ratchet and Clank game, there was no weapon leveling up, which it wasn't too much of a big deal. That was introduced in Ratchet and Clank 2, but weapon leveling is a huge part of Ratchet and Clank. It's something that's always stuck with the series ever since the second game. Oh, okay, that's interesting. The Hydro Displacer, you get that here. Okay. That is very interesting. See, in the very first Ratchet and Clank, this is where you get the hacking tool. So you guys can see, obviously, you can see a little, like, bit of a difference here. And of course, there wasn't ever like any water around that place to use the Hydro Display. So you would just essentially go on an elevator, it would take you down to like the entrance of the kind of little factory thing. But okay, so the layout is quite a bit different, but it is still cool to see like they are kind of, okay, see, this is where the elevator is. Okay, so yeah, the layout is still the same from what it looks to be, but it's a little bit altered, and I think that's great. It's going to have this new, fresh experience, but on top of that, it's going to have that nostalgic feel. And you guys can see they're using the same enemies that are located in the planets as well. We have these guys here with the flamethrowers, which is great. And you guys saw before the little kind of alien things that bite you and shit. It's great. They're all back, dude. I'm so hyped. I am so freaking hyped. But I've seen a lot of people actually. Ratchet leveled up, max health 10. That's cool. That's cool. I've seen a lot of people talking about, you know, this game is like the prime example of actually playing a Pixar film. Although, of course, you know, the Ratchet and Clank movie isn't actually, you know, it's not a Pixar film. Still, at the point, the game looks pretty close to the movie. Pretty damn close to the actual movie itself. So this game is essentially going to be feeling like you're actually playing the movie. But from what I've actually heard, the movie is slightly different from the game. So it's not like you're actually playing everything that goes on in the movie in terms of the story aspects. The game's actually set aside differently from the actual film. But from what Insomniac was saying, there's going to be times in the actual game itself where the game crosses with the film in terms of the timeline and the story and stuff. So I thought that was really interesting. But this is the second part of Iridia inside the factory, and yes, with the 3 pipes there, it's still the same, and with the grabbing of the ledges, it's still the same. So great, so great. Because this is something that was really worrying me. Like, I was so hyped when I first found out about, you know, like a Ratchet and Clank 1 remake and stuff. I was like, this is gonna be great, but like, I hope they don't drastically change the original levels. And you guys can just see from this alone, like, they have kept to the original design with adding a few little kind of new corners and twists every so often. So I believe this up here in the original game is where you find Skid McMark's agent. Yeah, there he is, there he is. He looks pretty much the same as well. That's so cool. And I'm so hyped to this weapon. This is the Pixelator. This is one of the new weapons that they added in the remake or the reboot. Or the reimagining. There's so many different names you could give it, but the Pixelator, I'm so hyped to this. Such a cool weapon. I mean, if Insomniac weren't making this game, the Pixelator would have never been created. You know, Insomniac come up with such creative weapon designs. They're the king of creative weapons, I have to say. Insomniac do such a good job. You'll notice here we've got some like some soldiers and stuff. And of course, these guys weren't in the original. They were kind of located in different planets, more later on towards the end of the game. So it looks like you like kind of encounter these dudes a little bit earlier on. But my god, dude, look at the character models. Look at the freaking character models, man. That's crazy. And you can actually see Ratchet's fur. That is just... Oh, dude, I'm so hyped. Alright, so for the last part of this, I don't think we're missing out on too much. It's really just a cutscene here. We're going to be looking at the planet Novalis. So this is kind of like the tutorial segment, aside from Planet Belden, when you first play Ratchet and Clank 1. This is like the first real planet you go to. Now, PlayStation Access, because they're kind of a part of PlayStation, I believe they have the game early, they get to kind of like test it out and stuff. They uploaded this. Now, we're not going to go through the first 30 minutes. We might skip through here a little bit. Actually, no, we're just going to be primarily looking at Novalis, because this is kind of got Planet Kerwin in here. So let's have a look at this. This looks absolutely amazing. My god, dude. The grass, the details, dude. Look at the details. What I am noticing, though, is the layout of this right here when you're up top on the little cliff. It looks a little bit different to the very original. In fact, the bridge is over there, that bridge that you cross, is located to the right, whereas in the first Ratchet and Clank game, the bridge is to the... No, there is a bridge over there, okay. Alright. They've obviously added a few new kind of environment aspects, but dude, it looks so damn good. From the looks of things as well, there's raritanium located all around the levels now, so raritanium, you'll come across that a lot. From what I was kind of listening to in the different interviews, the raritanium is going to be used to add weapon mods and stuff, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, like weapon mods and whatnot. Alright, so we have a nice layout here of the level. That is awesome. Yeah, it looks very, very close to the original. That is cool. Dude, it looks so good. It looks so good. Look at this. Same enemies as well. Same enemies. I'm getting that nostalgia, dude. I'm getting that nostalgia. Because in case you guys don't know, I'm currently playing through the Ratchet and Clank games for my second channel at the moment, and I've just recently finished Ratchet and Clank 1, and it was so good going back through the first game, but just seeing it look like this, it's like... Okay, so here, yeah, the bridge gets blown up, it still gets blown up in the remake, that's great, that's awesome. Oh, dude, it looks so good, it looks so good. I'm sorry, I've been going on about how good the game is looking, but it truly is. I have to say, I agree with a lot of people. This is definitely one of the best looking PlayStation 4 games I've seen so far, and when this was kind of first announced, I believe early last year, it might have even been towards the end of 2014, I honestly can't remember, but Insomniac was saying that they're going to be pushing the limits of the PlayStation 4's hardware, and now actually seeing a decent amount of footage that we have on the internet, it's so clear to see that. It is, like, the visuals are so impressive. So impressive. Like, even the bolts look good. Look at the bolts when they fly out and stuff. It's just, it's amazing. It is amazing. And of course, yeah, we've got these other aliens with the guns and stuff. It looks like they appear very early in the game. This is another cutscene. And of course, yep, we've got the same guy, the dude who gives you the ship and stuff. He's also here. So it's great that Insomniac have kept all of the sort of memorable characters as well. And the infobot, look at the infobot. The infobot looks a little bit different, but still kind of close to the original. I love that. But anyway, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed today's video. I will leave both of the gameplay videos in the description below, so you guys can go check them out for yourself. Honestly though, I just cannot wait for this game. It is just looking so amazing, and I have to say, huge respects goes out to Insomniac Games for continuing Ratchet and Clank. You know, it's sad to see that like games like Spyro, Crash, Jak and Daxter, even Sly Raccoon to that extent. I mean, Sly got a game a few years ago, but they've kind of all been left in the dust, and that sucks a lot. But Ratchet and Clank is still going strong, so respects to Insomniac Games. Anyway, guys, I'm hyped. Tell me what you guys are looking forward to the most about Ratchet and Clank on PlayStation 4 in the comments section below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.